Channel domination.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Whoa!
Hey,
hello from Los Angeles. Look at that.
Popping in. What's going
popping
on,
in
buddy?
for the telling us the first day on Happs, what it's like. How could he refuse? Pablo de la Hoya. He might not come up. Don't get your hopes up. He's probably busy.
He's welcome to if he wants to. If he wants to get
he
in
knows
on
he's
the
welcome anytime.
conversation.
Anytime Badges and McInnes are up here, then you're welcome to come up. He knows that. Yeah, Yassine,
Sure.
How's you doing, buddy? So, what an amazing episode today, Rev Mac live and at Badges. Well, I know so far.
Man, that's setting us up for greatness before we even get into it.
I know.
I love it.
What are we doing here, Badges?
Well, we've got a few hours of broadcasting under our belts, and I thought that Rev and I could get together and kind of do a little bit of a reach out to the community and maybe give some tips and tricks on some things that work for us to kind of improve. We all start at the beginning of day one, clicking that scary go live button. And from there, once you kind of get over your anxieties a little bit, you can start to step by step improve your live streams and become a little bit more engaging in the value and the level of content that you create. You just kind of level it up step by step. So I thought that maybe we could bring some value to the community by sharing some nuggets of knowledge from what we've learned over the last few years of broadcasting ourselves.
Nuggets of knowledge.
Nuggets of knowledge.
It is nuggets of knowledge.
When
it's
you're
the nugget of knowledge section now, right now.
It could be.
Hey, Deanna. Hey, Deanna.
Welcome, Deanna. There's
Dr.
a lot of different.
is in the house.
That's right. Woo woo! Come in, grab a chair. Get a snack.
Hang out.
Hang out.
Oh, bio break. Just kidding.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be the running joke. I love it.
The 7-hour bio break.
I almost said that in the comments. We did get a little bit of a late start according to the schedule, but that's okay because every day and every time is a good time for a broadcast. That's what I think.
That's right.
So,
although wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It'd be nice to have some metrics.
It would be.
Just saying.
Punctuality does help when you're trying to build a viewership base.
But you got to realize that we would be on. We talked about being on at noon. I actually thought it was noon. The first thing I set
what time zone he's
for
in.
Noon. The first broadcast I set was for noon, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? It's 2 4 what? Yeah. And then yes, I was 42 minutes late to the game, and to be transparent. Lindsay hit me up like I sound like William Shatner, but Lindsay did hit me up on here and say, "What's going on?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Is this like a?"
I had my thing on D&D, on Dungeons and Dragons. I had my Dungeon and Dragons setting on,
which is a really great tip for whenever you're going live to silence.
Oh heck yes.
The little bleeps and blops and dings and dongs on all of your computers and tablets and phones.
Even Globen Globen. Anybody know what that song? That is from what song?
Pretty Fly for a White Guy by Offspring. Give it to me, baby.
I love it, Lindsay. Hello from Brussels. Hello from Clearwater.
Rev and I thought that we'd come on, and I know some people are well seasoned and have been doing Periscope for many, many hours and kind of know how to slam on that live button and go for it. But if anybody here is new to the whole broadcasting concept, or maybe you just like to be a lurker and observe, and maybe you've considered slamming the live button and coming on, you may be a little bit scared to start, or you have questions on things that you might not have thought of to maybe take what you're currently doing and level it up. We're here to answer any questions or, brainstorm.
I'm the color guy. I'm the funny guy now. You're the straight.
He's the funny guy. Oh, I'm the straight guy.
Yeah, you're the straight guy.
I think
Because I
this is
gotta
an
tell you, like,
interchangeable role here.
when one of your followers on Twitter who did an interview with you, and I mean, our friendship is completely platonic, but when they send you a text or a reply in French, it does kinda like, "Whoa, I love"
Oh,
French, the language of
oui,
love.
oui.
So,
Oui, oui,
thank you,
oui.
Kaylee, if you're watching. Much love to you. Yeah, so this isn't Periscope is another point I wanna
No,
bring up.
it's
This
not.
is Happs. On Periscope, I don't think we could do this, could we, real easily? I was
No,
trying to
there's
do it with
not.
Zoom once in a while.
Well, they had,
You know,
like, the call-in where you could do, like, the audio only sorta
you could
deal,
hide
but
your
it's
face. Yeah.
a little bit of, anonymousness, sort of.
Mhm.
But it is different. It's definitely a different, concept
Can you
doing the face-to-face talk, and there's a little bit of etiquette there whenever you start especially getting more than just 2 people having a chat.
Right.
When you have, 4 or more on screen, you have to do a little bit of etiquette to make sure that you're not stepping on other people's toes or drowning them out because some people have a bigger mic than other people, that sort of thing. Trying to, take turns getting your points in and whatnot. So, that's also something that we could talk about as well.
Um, sorry, I'm really a brat today.
You are
Um,
a brat.
I am a brat, aren't I? Haps brought me out of my broadcasting hiatus. Well, I'll tell you what.
Ooh.
Thank you, Haps, because Dr. H is like one of my like I just I love your program. I love Dr. H's brain. She's just like so much smarter than me, and it challenges me to think, and yet she can explain things in like
Aw.
humanistic language. She's really good. And she's an active sponsor, and I love her for that too. So thank you, Dr. H.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not Periscope. It's got so much potential. Is it a little harder to use? That's why we're here. Of course it is. This is a full-blown broadcast studio. This is not, this is, you can come in here and chat with your friends. People do it all the time. I jump into streams where people are chatting, where we're just chatting
Oh,
with
yeah.
each other, and we're not, no agenda. It's great to hang out. It's a beautiful thing. But at its core, this platform is really based on a set of standards where empathy in journalism and in life is really important, and a level of professionalism on here. I think it's expected. There's no reason to be. You can be unprofessional, but the the reality is being unprofessional on here isn't going to get you views because that's not what people are looking for. So,
There's kind of a 2 camps there. There's your
mhm,
casual hangout, which like what you had mentioned before,
right,
but then there's also the curated content style, which is
right.
a little bit more produced. It's a little bit more well thought. There's a beginning, a middle, and end. There is a point. Most of the time, it comes in the form of interviews. A lot of the times, or even like a show and tell, like an artist show working on a certain project for an hour, and this is kind of like what they do. Hey, Chris, welcome. Uh, and there's different ways to fit that format to what you do. There's just kind of not necessarily unspoken rules of engagement when it comes to broadcasting, but it's a little bit of a. I keep going back to the word etiquette in my mind.
I like that.
You know,
Hey, Michelle.
hey,
If
welcome,
anybody wants to
guys.
come up with some broadcasting tips or broadcasting questions, um, just wave.
Yes, Michelle, exactly.
Um,
Having a
let us
purpose
know.
for your broadcasts.
A
Some
human.
people like to, try to keep it to a time limit so that you have a focus, you're hyper focused. A lot of people uh like to take a moment and whether it's on a post-it note or you have a full-blown document, kind of write down talking points. Some people even go as far as writing down a full script if you're super nervous and
Oh yeah, I
don't know
did
what
that
you're
in the
doing
beginning of
flying
Periscope,
solo.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah, you have your beginning with the intro and you're welcoming your guests and you're talking about what you're wanting to talk about for that show, and then you dive into the meat and potatoes of your show, and then at the end, you wrap it up and you move on to the next show after you're done.
Chris,
So,
what the heck is that emoji with that giant hand? I've never seen that.
what, the waving?
Yeah, with a big hand
Yeah,
like that.
I use it
I
all
don't
the
have that
time.
on Apple, do I?
You sure do?
I do? Oh, I'm going to
Yeah,
have to look that
everybody
up.
does.
How's it going, Rev? Last I saw you, I was concerned. Well,
Yeah, I think everybody was concerned about your hardware's well-being.
you know what? There were a lot of people concerned with my hardware's well-being, and I just, you can't imagine how much I appreciate it. I was despondent, and people might say, like, well, dude, you're just
Yeah,
like,
it's
you
just
know,
a hello wave. That's all that
it's
is.
the hello wave. But he crammed up another emoji next to it. That's why.
Yeah,
I
he
was
that's
confused.
the appreciate. It has little hands that come out like this. It's the appreciate
Gotcha.
symbol or
My
whatever it
eyesight's
is.
not that good anymore. Um, yeah, I was despondent because, well, I'm going to tell you a lot of reasons I was despondent because I like being here.
Mhm.
I'm not just here, to just casually chat or lurk. I've got an agenda and I've got a mission, and I was really upset. And the community, like, I think, like Dr. Hooper said, she came for the broadcast studio, stayed for the community. I think I came hoping, um, you know what? I'll tell it quickly. I told it earlier when I was talking with Vaughn. Um, sorry, we're getting a little off point, but when I started 8 weeks ago, I'm like, I'm not catching a feeling here as a couple times or whatever. But then somebody said hi. And from there, I stayed because the people were so friendly, and my loyal, faithful followers were urging me. A lot of them. Some of them were like, "No, no, no, don't stay.
Don't do it,
Periscope's going to
please
survive somehow." But but they convinced me to come over to Happs, and I got to tell you, the best thing one of the best moves I've ever made in my life, because I'm not going to lose any of these friends for a long time.
Yeah.
So early broadcasting tips: don't ramble about other subjects that are outside
Yes,
the
like
scope of what you're
Rev's
doing.
doing right now. He's
Right.
demonstrating that beautifully.
You're welcome too for that
Um,
demonstration.
just do what we say, not what we do. Is that right, Rev? Is that how this show is
Right,
going to
but
go down?
you know
But
what? Lindsay and I can talk over each other. We can get a little bit of a rhythm, but generally, when you finish a thought, let it hang a second. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Just let it
just digest it
hang there so
for a
she can
second.
jump in.
Yeah. Um. So I am actually multicasting out to a couple of different platforms today. So hopefully anybody viewing this will be curious enough to hop over to Happs and check it out. It's a pretty rad platform. Rev, what's some kind of like top 3 tips off the top of your head to help those guys
Ooh.
out? First day, green as
I came
green
to
can
Happs.
get.
Yep, I came to Happs needing an intellectual and creative outlet I was missing since Periscope was so crappy in the end. And of course, lockdown mental needs. My best
Absolutely.
tip would be to engage with your viewers. Thank you, Dr. Hooper.
Yes,
That is a
Dr.
very good tip.
Hooper. Number
A
one
very
thing,
good tip.
especially when you're doing live. It's a
Yeah,
different
I don't
animal
like
than
being up
doing
here
the
just
pre-record.
talking out there. Like, I don't want to be some kind of, you know, radio broadcaster that just has, really? 7-year-old? Seriously? Yeah, let's not. So yeah, there is. You don't think he likes seeing himself?
Hi, cuteness. Oh, my kids do this every single night whenever they're getting ready to go to bed. It's a normal thing.
You know what? If you scroll back through some of my broadcasts, you're going to see like this kind of face. I'm like, wait, you're on camera. Breathe, smile.
Breathe, smile.
But that's what a
Everything is
7-year-old will do to you
perfect.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. I would just say, coming over to Happs for your first date, just kind of don't be afraid to click on the buttons and test things out. It is a little bit different than other platforms that I've been on, but there's also familiarity. So just kind of getting your feet wet and testing out how everything connects a little bit, get all your profiles and stuff set up and whatever. But the multi-streaming thing's super, super huge.
Pablo
It's
will
a
tell you.
big thing that a lot of people are not used to doing. And the fact that it's free is phenomenal because that is not a free thing in the marketplace usually. Follow everyone you can find to follow everyone you can to find people. Yeah, so you can find other people. That is one of the biggest things about this platform is the community. It is an amazing community. Everybody is so supportive of each other, always willing to help out when somebody is fumbling around and needs a little bit of help figuring out what's happening on Happs. There's so many good shows and good streams. I encourage just click the follow button on everybody.
Good.
Absolutely. Yeah. They do make it very convenient to follow. Anybody that comments in the chat, you just click on their comment and it brings up a lovely menu. You can subscribe to them right there.
And I would say on day one, if you've got the chutzpah, just jump on and broadcast, but grab a pair of earbuds.
Oh, yes.
Do you have any earbuds, Lindsay? Do you have any you could show people like what they are? I don't. I don't have any, but all right. Look at this. See? Because when you hold on a second. Hold on. Let me show you actually. Let me show you what this is going to be like.
Them out. Anyways, you guys know back in the day, I assume they don't do this anymore, but they might. When phones used to have actual headphone jacks on them, they used to give you a free pair of earbuds that had a microphone on them. This is kind of what we're talking about, the cheapy kind, not the high quality studio kind. You don't have to go out and spend $1 million on a pair of earbuds. Just plug them in. Because here's
how
why.
do I sound now?
Here's the magic.
How do I sound now?
You sound like you have a microphone in your neck.
I sound like I have a microphone in my neck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I sound as good as I did when I'm in front of the microphone?
No.
Okay, because I'm talking through the computer and I'm hearing this program through my computer. And that, I'm sorry, even if you're on Periscope, it's not how you do it.
You sound very distant.
Yes.
But
does this sound better now? Is it better?
Oh, that tickles my ear holes.
Yes.
That tickles deep inside those ear holes.
Hello, right Lindsay.
Hello.
Wait, is your husband a big guy? I better be careful.
I'll just let you think
you have a husband? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I have one of those. Yes.
All right. Well, no, I mean, it's 2021. I didn't, I made assumptions.
No. Yes, I'm happily married. But yeah, earbuds are super important, and not necessarily because of how you sound, but how the sound gets picked up through whatever microphone you're using. A lot of people don't have a setup like this or like yours, where there's a separate microphone, doing all the audio magic. It's usually you're relying on your laptop microphone, which picks up every grasshopper fart can be heard on a laptop microphone. So you have to be very conscious about the sound that's around you that also picks up any noise that your computer is producing. So that causes a lot of things like echo or reverb or whatever, which can derail a conversation faster than anything I've ever seen. So that's why it's so important to have those headphones plugged in. It doesn't matter what kind it is, Bluetooth, the cheap dollar store kind, or one of these fancy studio quality kind. It doesn't really matter, just as long as the audio coming out of your computer is going straight into your ears and not going back into your microphone. That's going to save you so much grief. So much grief.
It's not a bio break. It's a spousal break. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest takeaways that I would say for first day broadcasters that are not used to sharing the screen with another person. A lot of scopers are used to doing the one to many, where it's more interaction with comments. So they're not used to having that extra audio come back to them, and they don't know how to manage that really well. So I would say if you're going to have a guest on, I would say you need headphones and your guest needs headphones. Both of you, the host and the guest, should earphone up. It's going to save you so much grief in the end. My emails are going off like crazy over there. What are, I would say that's probably, I mean, and that's like the cheapest jumpstart I could think of as tips wise for audio video management. Most laptops have a camera built in. I know there's a lot of like apps out there where you can use your phone as the webcam through your computer as well as just on its own. I have just the standard Logitech C920. It's a 1080p camera. They have super cheap ones for $50 or less on Amazon. I strongly suggest waiting till like Amazon days and score you one if you don't have one yet. It really kind of improves your quality there. If you're talking, you're muted.
Hit the mute button.
Yes, you see,
I have
also scheduling your broadcast will kind of help people give you a heads up of when you're going live, and it also kind of helps jumpstart your views if views is an important thing to you. Yes, don't accidentally mute yourself. Rev is just demonstrating all of the do not do's.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, all the failures.
All the do not do's today.
This is why Rev has a technical director. Rev is, my hair was, well, let's just say I'm less than, I'm a, biscuit short of a whatever. I can't even remember. I would also want to say, like on your first broadcast, using your earbuds, I liked what you were saying about making sure your guest uses their earbuds. If you are serious here, and then whatever serious means to you, if you've got somebody that you've never talked to, and obviously we bring random people up here sometimes, but if you got somebody that you've never talked to, do a pre-interview.
Oh yeah, just like a quick little sound check for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, even if it's just before the program. Now, I usually do about a 15-minute one, but also you don't want to do a pre-interview for too long, or all the magic will happen in the pre-interview and you'll fall flat in the interview. So you have to be careful, but at least do a 5-minute sound check, before, make sure their equipment's working.
Yeah, make sure they can find their camera and turn it on and their mic sounds decent and, their internet connection is not super choppy or crazy, like, 1994 internet dial-up stuff going on. It's just a more tech check than
dial-up modem sound.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
I have this fancy mixer and I don't have anything to kind of roll in audio stuff. I got to figure that out. Anyway, I got too late in the day for me. Have a good afternoon and evening, everyone.
Thanks for stopping through.
Thank you, Dr. C, Dr. H, Dr. Hooper. Much love to you.
I've got a pair of
AirPods Pro.
And they sound muffled.
Yes, well, it is going to sound muffled when broadcasting because one, it's designed specifically for the Apple phone, and so it's going to be designed to sound best on the Apple phone, and it's far away from your mouth. I mean, it's also not
the wireless ones. They're literally like that far away from your mouth,
and they're not when you're using them. Not on an iPhone, they're not using all that technology that makes it sound good on an iPhone. They just become a pair of $15 earbuds, more or less, that you're using to try and broadcast with. You're probably better off with the wired. But here's what I would do. If you're serious and you have a little bit of money and you've got a fairly quiet space in the house, and that's to pick up, we'll be happy. What's your microphone? Is that a USB mic?
This is actually both. Yeah. Right now, it's plugged in XLR to a little mixer that I have here, but I have done it both with it plugged into the USB as well.
What are you using to convert your analog to digital?
It's the mixer's USB plugs in to the computer.
Oh, wait, but your mixer also, you can go in XLR and come out digital to the computer?
Yeah. The XLR goes from the mic to the mixer, and then the mixer is USB in.
Nice.
Angela, since you are planning on starting your first broadcast soon, if you would like, you're welcome to come up here and we can help
say hi.
With any questions you might have. Say hello. I don't.
Angela,
but we can find out who she is.
Dr. Hooper's mom.
Come tell us about you. What are you going to do? I'm excited.
Yeah, Angela's Dr. Hooper's mom.
Is that right?
I know Angela. It is.
Cool.
Happy broadcasting. Looking forward to it. We're also going to, it'll be a little loose, but we're going to be on Fridays at noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
You can figure out the rest. And It's going to be fun. I have a few ideas. Ooh, here we
I
go.
love
Come on up.
ideas.
Come on
Ideas
up.
are great.
This is an idea-filled space.
Yes. So, it's gonna be kind of us hitting on certain broadcasting topics that we kind of feel are important, but also taking questions and tips from the audience that maybe have worked for them as well to make their
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
work better for them.
And I mean, do
I'm
not.
certainly not a know-it-all.
Wait a minute. I'm on the wrong side, aren't I? Yeah. Hold
You
on a
are on the
second.
wrong side. We switched
Yeah,
seats.
I
It
know.
it
And
was
I would.
warm over here. What'd you do in this
Okay.
chair?
Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
hello.
yeah. Never mind. I don't want to say what I did in that chair.
Hello.
Um, Today we have rain, shockingly here in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, if you're
Hmm.
broadcasting outside for the first time, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
But if you're so I think day one in Happs could be different for a lot of people. Some people are going to be familiar with the broadcast studio, jump right in terms of they've done video before,
Yeah.
and I actually have, and I've actually been a technical director, and I should know what I'm doing on here, but maybe I'm a little overly tired and a little overly busy. But
Well, I mean, it's a uniquely their own studio. I mean,
it
a
is
lot of it's gonna be, generic click button, this is what you do, but some of it's a
right.
little bit different than other platforms. I'm an old timer streamer since 2013. Nice,
Oh,
Willie.
that's like
Sweet. You're gonna
um,
I wanna have some other people come up and kinda round table with us about broadcasting and
I
what
would
were
love
some of
that.
the things that you found important whenever you were first starting out and things that you wish you knew when you were starting that you now know. Looking backwards, retrospective thinking is always 2020 or sight is 2020, whatever. Anyways, but I just kind of picked it up bit by bit. I was highly anxious about clicking the go live button even just to come in and I know I always like to reminisce about the old days of Blab, a platform that died long ago, but it was my very first experience with live streaming, and that platform had 4 seats. It was kind of like a you rotated out the seats. It had a chat box very similar in format to how Happs is set up, and we could call in and we could chat for a little bit, and then we would slide back over to the chat room when we were done saying what we had to say and kind of make room for the next person to come in. And it was kind of like an ongoing conversation until the room closed. So I'm kind of this is kind of like a home away from home sort of resurrection of the passion of live streaming for me. And that's where I did all of my learning. There was lots of people on there that had lots of well-seasoned broadcasters that would get super techie geeky down to, like, very complicated audio stuff, green screening, and all of the, like, pro stuff, all the way down to, like, hanging out on your phone things as well. So I just kinda picked up pieces here and there. There was podcasters and TV broadcasters and all sorts of in-betweens. So I love to share what knowledge I did pick up from them. I am nowhere near a professional, but I do like to play around with the live streaming toys for sure. Yes,
Where did that?
rewatch your broadcast is a good tip.
Hey, oh
You
my
learn from
gosh,
yourself.
everybody! Wait!
What?
Amazon just texted me.
And what did they say?
Congratulations, Revolution! You came third in March's Amazon EarPods raffle. Follow the link to set up delivery. Huh? That doesn't seem
I
legit
didn't
to
know there
me.
was raffling on Amazon. That
Yeah,
sounds
I don't
pretty
think there is. I
shady.
don't think
I
there is.
wouldn't click that if I
No,
were
I wouldn't click
you.
on that either. That's just a little tip. Um,
Yes, don't answer spam calls and texts during your broadcast.
well, and I do want to apologize to everybody a little bit because when I'm looking down here, quite often I'm looking at like work email and stuff. I mean, I'm not
He
really
is
on the clock
working.
because I'm a consultant, but I have to find time to work.
He is working. I
um,
streamed directly from
yeah.
PS4
So
more recently
I
on my
was
cell phone. That's
working.
cool. I have a friend that does that quite often as well. He does a lot of Call of Duty gaming, and he has a crew that plays every single night, and they kick butt and take names, and they have a good time on the PlayStation for sure. For beginning
Um,
I like this. Define your goals, choose the type of your stream, set up streaming equipment, test everything before you go live. Yeah. And I mean, even if your first couple of lives are just testing streams to see what things look like and before you like take the plunge and schedule your first real show, that's totally okay. You can delete whatever you don't like later. That's what I have to say. I don't know. Did you do any test runs before you started there, Rev?
Well, yeah, because I was on for a couple of weeks, kind of jumping on here or there, and I mean, except for my Periscope folks, nobody knew I was here. So, yeah, I just did a lot of the talking to myself kind of stuff, and made sure I understand how it worked, and that was it was a good experience to just get it going a little bit. What about you, Badges?
I always like to get in the studio and play around with poking the buttons, see what things do. I'm pretty familiar with what my standard setup would be, so it's pretty easy to kind of connect those buttons. So I mean, I'll go in and do like a test just to see how it looks live, what the delay is from it coming out of your mouth to actually getting out to the live viewership. Also, comments coming in. I may test a couple of comments in the chat box. So I have one tab open on studio side, one tab open on the live view side, and I'm just sitting there testing to see if there's a lag. So I know how long to pause and wait if I'm asking a question for those comments to start coming in from your viewers. That's one thing, is just kind of being preemptive of how to work with the technology that's available and being flexible with that.
Let's, as they say on that other place, let's reset the studio here for a little bit. Perfect timing.
Yes.
Perfect timing. Hey, are you quickly, Badges, are you on Clubhouse?
I am on Clubhouse.
Okay. All right.
I don't use it very often, but I am there.
I have 3 invites. Now, don't get in there and ask me for them, because it's not going to happen. Because if you invite somebody, you're there. If they F up, you can get, banned too.
Yeah.
But some of you out there, I would trust. So I've got 3.
So you can just slide up in the DMs there if you want to access.
If I tell you no, it's not because I don't love you, but just I got to protect myself. Hello.
Hi, Miss Angela.
Angela, how are you?
Hi, good evening or good afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. Good evening,
Let's
good morning.
It is
good day.
It is
good day.
Sometime, is it, let's see, let me guess, 4, 5, is it like 2 there right now?
It's 11 p.m. here, just after.
So
11
close.
p.m. Okay.
So close there, Rev.
Yeah, not close at all. But I mean, but I can tell you what time it is in Malaysia right now. It is 6:16 in the morning. So there you go.
So Angela, I want to hear about what you said you're going to be doing a live show soon. I want to hear all about what your plans are. What kind of content are you going to be bringing to the platform?
Actually, it was something that Deanna suggested. As Rev said, Deanna is my daughter. I'm the proud mother of Dr. Hooper. So she's one of my great blessings actually in life. She's pretty awesome. She also says awesome things about you too, Rev. So I think it's a mutual fan club there.
It is. It is.
But one of my, I guess, specialities is I mentor a lot of people who are looking for work, who need help with their CV or their resume, who need to understand how, or need to have guidance on how to personalize their CVs and their applications for different, whether it's in academia or the kind of mainstream life. Also on how to ace an interview, the kind of questions to ask, what answers you should give. So I think, especially in this day and age where so many people have lost their jobs because of the pandemic, and so many companies are closing, there's a lot of people on my LinkedIn network. There's a lot of people always looking for work. I work within the recruiting industry anyway, And I think it's a very good service for people to be able to have some tips and tricks on how to brush up their CV, their working history, how to personalize a cover letter aimed at their intended employers, that kind of thing.
Could you work on Boris Johnson's so maybe he can find something else to do? Help him out with his
I'd
resume?
love to try removing both him. Well, Trump has gone, so that's one out the door. We just need his evil twin in the UK to be gone.
Yep.
And any other politician, maybe.
Right. What is without giving away the farm? What is, do you think, the couple of most important or something kind of resume fails? Like people always do wrong when they're doing a resume.
Yeah, it changes over the years. A lot of things become more popular to do it this way, to do it that way. A lot of people still work on the job description. So they'll say, I was a trade show manager. I did this. I was responsible for this. I did that. Nobody cares. People now look about successes. So it's not about what tasks you did. It's about what successes you had, how to measure that success. So
see, I'm a stay-at-home mother, and my successes is I haven't killed either of my children yet.
Yeah, well done, actually, especially during the lockdown. I have so much, having had my two kids with the blessing of family around me, my husband, my husband's parents, my parents, that was a blessing. I cannot imagine the hell it has been and hard work it's been for parents bringing up their kids, trying to work, trying to teach their kids. It must be, I give so much respect being a teacher as well as a mother or a father and working and still trying to keep your sanity. I think it's been incredibly hard on parents.
There's a lot of parents that have to wear a lot of different hats that other generations weren't expected to do now.
Yeah.
So hats off to everybody that is making it work successfully. Yeah. They get a gold star for that. Well, I'm excited to see your show. I feel like everybody should be subscribing to you and taking these tips on, even if they're not looking into getting into the job force right away. That it's always some useful skill set and some advice that everybody should have in their back pocket, and they should know how to approach whenever that time does come. And even if they themselves aren't going to be doing that, I'm locked into my career, I'm good, or I'm about to retire next week. Maybe you have a grandchild or a child of your own that needs to have some guidance. So you have that advice to help guide them in the right direction.
Definitely. I think also a lot of times you can apply interview techniques to other walks of life, whether it's having a difficult conversation with your bank manager, for an example. Sometimes having good interview techniques is very fundamental, but also it just gives you an air of confidence if you can speak well in an interview where it's very important and a lot of things are riding on it. I think it also gives you confidence to deal with other difficult situations. Sorry, Rev.
No, it's fine. So first, I want to talk about the interviews. But before I say that, I'm thinking if I put on my resume just badass, they'll be like, oh, he's cooler than me, I'll hire him. But what in fact it is saying is, yeah, I'm really bad. Don't hire me, but they'll think I'm really good. So should you kind of pump yourself up a little bit, or you just want to be just straight, this is what it is?
Because at the end of the day, what you're selling is your product. It's
you
yourself.
Are the product.
You're selling your own brand.
Right.
So you have to show why people want to buy you, why people want your services, or what you can bring.
Yeah. Excellent. So
I'm going to get emails. I'm going to get emails. Wait, so the other thing was, we were just talking about before that, badges. Do you remember what I wanted to remember? Darn it.
I can't keep all of your thoughts straight in my head.
Please.
I try. I try my hardest.
I know you do, and I appreciate you for it. Hold on a second. It was just before I decided to have my little smart comment, and I was, interviews. So mock interviews. And look, I love it when you laugh at me, badges. Yeah. Mock interviews. And mock interviews are really good things to do. You can do them with anybody. You can do them with the mirror even, but you want to kind of get that muscle memory of an interview down. And then there's something too with interviews. It's called eustress. I think it's spelled EU. I don't remember. You can Google it. But eustress is kind of, you would think about it as positive stress. So when you're going into an interview and you're all sweaty and nervous and everything, that's actually a good thing.
The anxiety is real.
Embrace it, because the anxiety is going to give you a little bit of a heightened sense of what's around you, and you're going to do better.
Yeah,
don't
you got some
sit there and
adrenaline
just
going.
Don't try to get it away. Keep it even, but let that anxiety burst you into the room really well.
Wait, you're not supposed to look like you're going into labor when you're trying to get a job?
I've also said to people many times also that as much as the company is interviewing you, you're also interviewing them. So have that power, have that voice, because it's a two-way street. You're both getting something new. You're both looking for something new. And quite often, people who already have a job and are just looking to change up, for whether it's for career or salary or location or whatever, quite often they feel that they don't need the job. So you can be quite nonchalant in an interview at times. That actually makes you sexier to the interviewer, if I can say such a rude word. Yeah,
you can say such a word.
So you're playing hard to get, basically.
Yeah, sometimes it's in fact, Dr. Hooper will actually agree with me on this point. Sometimes you can go into an interview kind of quite relaxed because you think, well, maybe I like the job, maybe not. I've got nothing to lose by going into the interview. And that's always going to be the interview where you offer the job, because you're more relaxed. You're not fighting your own anxiety. And one of the best questions you can actually, or the best tactics you can actually do.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Gosh, Cheryl.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Holy cow. Cheryl Burke.
Wow.
Is it Cheryl? Because I want to make sure I pronounce that right. That's a nailed it award. That is very nice of you. And thank you. Great to see you again, Cheryl, too. Dr. Hooper's mom.
Dr. Hooper's mom, yeah.
Yes. I mean, doesn't that sound good?
Should be Angela Hooper's daughter as well, because it works the other way.
I was going to say
it works the other way.
I was thinking that maybe she wanted to go by Angela, perhaps.
Yeah, I know. But I only met Angela like a few days ago. I only met Dr. Hooper like a week and a half ago, and I'm already proud of Dr. Hooper for making her mom like just so happy that she got this advanced degree. I'm sure mom is just like, probably just like she walks out of the door and she's like, my daughter's a doctor, you know what I mean? Like of cosmology. You know what I mean? I could just see her celebrating that out there. So
it's actually funny because we've all been kind of celebrating her doctorship or doctorness. But the first time outside of her PhD ceremony that I actually heard anybody refer to her as Dr. Hooper was actually you, Ev, a couple of days ago when I was on your phone. And I heard you say Dr. Hooper, and I was yes.
Heck yeah, Deanna and I had this. We actually had this conversation, and I'm going to be upfront. The reason I was calling her Dr. Hooper was because in her field and in the field of the sciences, there's a lot of jerks, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of jerks, and those jerks fail to respect women scientists. They fail to treat them on the same level, and they fail to call them doctor. And you know what? 2% of the people on the planet have a doctorate, and we talked about it, Deanna. I think there's maybe 30,000 theoretical physicists out of 7 billion people. Give the woman some effing respect. You know what I mean? Like, she worked her ass off. This is there's nothing wrong with a doctorate in education, but this isn't a doctorate in education. This isn't freaking theoretical physics. Like, that is 1,000 times smarter than, it's an order of 3 magnitudes smarter than I am.
Serious homework that she had to do.
Yeah. And you know what else that's amazing about Dr. Hooper is that she's made 2 discoveries. One discovery, 2 maybe, I don't know. But she's just like, oh yeah, like no big deal.
She's so humble and
she's like incredibly humble. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You don't make a discovery. I don't care how minor you think it is. You don't make a discovery that nobody ever knew about something in physics and be like, no big deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
like, amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very humble. So Angela,
she used to be the same when, as we talked about her room being the result of entropy. Is that the right word, Deanna? I hope I've got the word right there.
Didn't work.
That was
didn't work for me on the executive producer. She's like, "Why is the kitchen such a mess?" I'm like, "Entropy."
I'm just going to introduce you to Tango here.
Oh, Tango! What's up?
Unfortunately, he doesn't want to stay.
Oh, that's
I have a lot of them, so it's easy to get a cat. That was going to be another thing that I could tell you how to. Another one of my ideas was to tell people how to look after 6 cats in their household, because that's pretty much fun.
Wow.
I got to imagine all you're doing is scooping poop all day, to be honest.
Yeah, and chasing and separating. There's actually something that Dr. Hooper she could probably write in the text here, that there's a gentleman that's one of the Happs community that's a neuroscientist. And I have something very weird that happens with my brain.
Is that
and
Ian?
We think it would be fun to discuss with a neuroscientist. So we're hoping that he will invite me in. I think his name is Ian. So if he's in the chat room, he can ping me. So I have something that's called aphantasia. And what that means is that I don't have a mind's eye like apparently normal people do. So a lot of people have it in different degrees. So you might be able to see a triangle in your head, in your eye, in your mind, and you can see it that it's a blue triangle, and you can turn a green square on top of it, and you can see this. I don't have this. I have.
But I mean, like, I'm curious for everybody out there.
Yes.
Like, how much do you see it, Lindsay? Like, do you see it like it's a solid object, or do you just see it as a kind of an idea of an object?
It really depends. It can go deep and vivid depending on the idea, or it could just be a rough concept that I have to flesh out on paper. Being an artist, I've probably kind of honed that a little bit more, where I can the concept kind of develops in my brain a little bit the longer I think about it, and then I can kind of translate it loosely what I want it to look like on paper. It's always mutating as it's being created from brain to paper or whatever medium. So yeah, it always starts with at least a little bit of a rough sketch or concept in my brain, but then the longer I think about it and develop it, I can make it have colors or multi-dimensions. I
definitely have it. I don't have a problem seeing people's faces. Like, I don't have that situation where you can't read people's faces. I can't remember what that's called, but you can't see people's faces. And it makes it really hard for the emotional cues and stuff. But I definitely have, and it really bothers me because I know what my grandparents look like, but I can't see them in my mind. You know what I mean? It's almost like I can represent them with some kind of sharp little of an outline or an idea, but man, I wish I could see them like in 3D, full blown. They're here. And I'm wondering if some people do see that concretely. And then what I'm seeing, I can't imagine you seeing even less in the mind's eye. So how did you discover that you were different?
It was actually quite funny, because I always assumed my husband was the weird one, because he often talked about images and 3D films and things. And he and Deanna used to do this thing that they would write on the wall and say, "Oh, here's a note. I'll just write it on the wall." And I always thought, yeah, they're a little bit crazy. And then one day we were actually listening to a radio program, and they were talking about aphantasia. And we both kind of stopped and looked at each other and said, "Wait, so I'm the weird one and you're the normal one? Huh, that's strange." So things kind of fell into place for me. When people always talk about counting sheep, I thought it was literally a question of 1, 2, 3, but not actually seeing. But apparently you normal people can see the sheep jump over the fence.
Yes.
Which is very bizarre for me.
Yeah, I can kind of
I mean, I don't think it's as vivid as like a cartoon or anything, but
that's what I want.
I guess it depends on how tired you are.
Yeah.
I mean, there are nights where I have dreams that are so real that I physically react to them in my sleep. And then there's other nights that I have dreams that are just kind of like, oh, you're sitting around the circle, it's story time, and somebody's telling you something. I mean, there's different degrees and levels of how detailed it can be.
You dream in pictures?
Yeah. Sometimes color, sometimes not.
Angela.
Oh. It's weird because when I wake up, I remember the concept of the dream. But again, it's actually the reverse of what Kim has just said in the chat. She can visualize but have no running monologue. I'm the opposite. I have a voice all the time that is because I don't see things. I'm dictating it to myself. So when I wake up from my dream, I remember the words or the concept, but I don't see it.
Wow.
It's quite fascinating. I have to be wired up to.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask George Clooney if one of his clones, because he has clones, if I could upload into one of his clones, like what it would cost me. But
would that be George Clooney in that case?
George Clooney? Yeah.
No, George Clooney.
George Clooney. Oh my goodness.
Clooney.
Wow.
Oh, that's
better
funny.
At this
She's
than
got
I am.
jokes.
This is going to be a really good show.
She's got
jokes. Really good show.
Dude, I cannot wait to check out your live streams and
I can't either.
Hear all the cool stuff. I think we need to steer it a little bit back on the topic. We went way down a rabbit hole there for a minute, which I love, but I know I can't stay here all day. I have to go check on my children and be a mom. So, I think we may have to do a wrap up, Rev. We're over the 1 hour.
I was about to hit you on the back channel. Folks, when you have a co-host, when you have a guest, create a back channel. I know we have the little thing down here, but to me, it's just easier to do a back channel through like IG or something. I can hold my phone and type with my thumbs.
So really quick, before we do sign off, Angela, I want you to tell everybody what times do you know if you're do you have like a regular time that you have in mind that you're going to go live so we can hunt you down and learn about all the goodness that you have?
I'm going to get a little bit of backstreet training from the doctor this weekend. Okay. And after that, I will set a time.
Cool.
But, well, she needs to show me how to use the system better because I'm currently on my phone and it's not the best app in the world on the phone. Yeah. So she's going to teach me a few things.
Yes. Well, everybody make sure that you guys subscribe to Miss Angela so you can catch her live on her own channel where she talks about all you need to know how to get ready for a new job in your life. And apparently we can talk about her inner monologue too on side notes as well.
Yeah. And remember, Angela, I would really like you and your daughter to come hang out one night and let's talk about what it's like to be the parent of a PhD and somebody that's trying to use the entropy trick on you. And we'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that.
Don't even get me started on string theory with her and her brother. That's that's a story for
whole another live.
It is a whole other life. And I just wanted to say, because Let It Be is here. And if you want to have your own little song, you got to tell me what you want. But Let It Be is easy because it's Let It Be. All right, Let It Be. Good to see you. Badges, you good? We're good?
I am great. Together? We can all go out
thank
together.
Thank you for having me for a guest for a few minutes. It was a pleasure to speak to you both.
Well, you're lovely, Angela. We love you already. So, welcome to Happs.
You see me going live and being dynamic. Wow.
It'd be awesome. And whatever help you need, whatever questions you have, I know she could reach out to you, Badges, and she could reach out to me, and we'll be there for you. Yep. If Deanna's like cracked the particle physics, some kind of black matter holes or whatever, she's figured all that out. Then and she's a little busy, we'll be there for you.
Yeah.
So
just hit us up.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day or a great evening or whichever. Take care.
Bye.
You too. Great to see you. And one of the things, Badge, is that you can just hit the exit
she's
at the bottom.
She's got it.
One of the things I liked about this, though, was it made me realize that we need more hours in the day, because it would be so fun to interview first day Happs people once in a while. That was fun for somebody new.
Fun.
So
I love having an opportunity to meet new faces. It just helps grow the community and grow your friendship circles and all that good stuff. We will be back doing more broadcaster talking next week.
Will we?
So, sure? That's the plan at hand right now.
Okay, all right. I know there could be an issue next week. I just
that's right. I forget it is spring break. I keep forgetting. So that may not happen on Friday. It's a tentative for this week, but the following.
We'll be back the next Friday.
Yes.
1 p.m. Eastern.
Fridays are the plan.
Yeah. And again, go.
Any broadcasting questions you have, bring them, and we'll try to address them the best we know how.
Yeah, send them to my IG DMs or Lindsay's. We'll be happy to answer them. In fact, we would love to have some questions. If you're watching this on the replay, or you're watching live and you're not familiar with Happs, please go to happs.tv, check it out. And there's nothing. I know there are things that like you've seen that are like it, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like this experience. And it will, if you let it, have a major impact on your life in a really good way, whether you're just watching stuff or broadcasting. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody.
Come to the Happs side. We have cookies.
Luke, I am your Hapster. Right.
All right. Until next time, everyone. I am Badges.
And I'm Revolution McKinnis. This is ostensibly RevMac Live, with this breaking down broadcasting on your first day on Happs. Peace be with you, and namaste.